Hello, the Lord bless you, the Lord keep you, the Lord make a way for you. Good to be here again tonight. Just I did promise in the morning that I'll be here. My name's Bishop Dr. Tony Anthony Chiaso. They call me Papa Nuko. I am the Radiant Army General, the senior pastor of the Radiant Army Deliverance Ministry International, located here at Aguda Oba by County Bus Stop or Afis Bus Stop. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, well-wishers, sons and daughters, colleagues, and even my enemies that have stayed tuned to listen and watch, I want you to know that tonight is that night that every enemy in your life is going to summit. Every enemy in your life is going to summit. The theme for this program is the enemy submitted. And tomorrow morning from 8:30, 9 a.m. we are starting this all long awaited program. Some people, I just left the church now, some people have even entered the church and they are already camping. Oh my God, I can't just wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow morning we start, and then on Friday all night we are bringing down one cow for suya, and then on Sunday, where will you be? If you take our time to just be part of this program, I'm sure you will not regret you did. So please, very soon I'll throw the line open so that I can be praying with you. But there's this thing I want to share with you tonight, and I'm sure you're really going to be blessed. One of the greatest enemy to man is the tongue of man. The tongue. Most times there are men, there are women out there who fight external enemies, accuse everybody around for being responsible to their predicament. Have you ever sat down to look inward and find out the reason why the same tongue you use in calling upon God is the same tongue you use in blackmailing others, the same tongue you use in saying negative words even to yourself? The tongue. You know, something happened in Numbers. When you take your time to study Numbers chapter 13 verse 33, the Bible talked about the 10 spies that the great man of God Moses sent to spy the Canaan land. And the 10 of them went and discovered that there were giants dwelling in that land. Very tall giants occupying the land, which God has already given to them by promise. You know, they took their time to spy the land and everybody had his own report. They came back to Moses and said to Moses, this land we are going to possess, there is trouble. Oh. They are already occupants in this land, and they are very tall, mighty giants. They are warriors, they are fighters. There were 10. Out of these 10, 2, Caleb and Joshua, changed their own report because of their own tongue. What did they say? They say, yes, physically and visibly they are men dwelling, occupying that land. And truly, we may look like grasshoppers before them, but I don't see them as threat. I don't see them as issue. I don't see them as problem. The God who has been with us, and this same God who have been calling upon, will deliver them in our hand. And they will have no choice than to submit. Have you read Psalm 66? He said, calling upon the God of war, who understands the mystery of battle, and how he has made those who wage war against us submit to the God we look up to. There is something about the tongue. The psalmist said, I look upon the hills from where cometh my help, but I've come to discover that men will fail me, men will disappoint me, but there is a place I look up to, which is the name of the Lord. That name never fails. Learn to confess positive. Have you noticed that out of the generation delivered from the land of Egypt, only the same Caleb and Joshua made it to the promised land? Because they had a positive tongue. They said the right thing, they stood by the right thing, and God did the right thing for them. My prayer for you watching me tonight, I don't know in any way you have used your tongue to condemn yourself. You have used your tongue to belittle yourself. You have used your tongue to say things that are affecting you negatively. By the mercy of God tonight as you watch, I declare you vindicated. Let God give you a second chance so that that enemy called the tongue will no longer have hold over you anymore. Sometimes you just wake up in the morning and the day doesn't look like it's going to be good for you. Use your tongue and create your day. Don't be an enemy to yourself. Don't be saying things like, sometimes you just wake up, there is no food. You wake up, it doesn't look like the day is even going to be good. All you need to do is to speak into the day with your tongue. Take charge and possess your day. Declare it. The Bible says, let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich. Let the sick say, I am healed. When you do, I've watched it happen over and over in my life. And no wonder God strictly warned me after my birthday early this year that I should be very careful on what I say. That is why you don't see Dr. Tony talking anyhow. Because there's authority, there's power in the tongue. Learn to use your tongue positively. There are some of you, when they say pray, you say, I've not seen result. The one I've prayed, I've not seen result. Why must I pray? Don't use your tongue to speak God of yourself. Always be positive minded. Learn to always declare. The Bible says, declare a thing and it shall be established. Now what you bind on earth is bind in heaven. It's a tongue. It's a tongue. When you use it well, things turn around for you. I share a testimony, then we start praying. Of a young man, every night like this, they will come feed him in the dream. Every night, there is no night. So sometimes he will say, I'm not going to sleep. Even the little time he will just doze off like this, they've given him amala and he would. And if he gets up the next day, he will have this sensational moving object all over him. His day will be so bad. The young man went to one of our big church. I won't mention the name. They gave him 70 days fasting. 70 days. Oh, this guy did the 70 days fasting. At the end of the day, what they used in breaking the fasting was this same feeding in the dream. I have nothing against eating in the dream, but there are some food that are not good, especially the kind of food can cause affliction. The Bible calls it the food of affliction. Now, you must understand that spirits don't eat, so your soul, your spirit should not be feeding. Have you asked yourself who's cooking that food? Which kitchen, which caterer is preparing that food? Food you didn't eat physically, you are eating it. You're eating it while you are sleeping. It has blocked a lot of doors. It has caused a lot of sicknesses. But I'm sharing the testimony of this young man. He is a Yoruba guy. His name is Adekunle. I will never forget this testimony. The young man came to our ministry directed by another friend of his, and I told him, let's pray. He said, see, Papa, anytime they just give me that food, and it is one particular woman, it's my grandmother, if he just presents this food, that day is spoiled. I said, we are going to change your confession. Next time, if they present that food, tell them thank you, please bring more. He said, what kind of prayer is that? I said, let's try it. It's going to work. And we did it. And do you know what? They stopped giving him food because they discovered that the thing no longer bothers him. In fact, if they even bring the food, he will eat everything and eat the plate. Today, that young man now is a medical doctor in the United States, doing very well for himself. Learn to be positive minded. Don't allow the devil give you prayer point. It is not all the headache you have that is an arrow from your family house. It is not all the cold. If you expose yourself to cold, you will have fever, you will have shield. So you must always learn to know which one is natural. Design it, separate it, so that you don't keep using your tongue. Some people have defiled themselves with their tongue. You need to see where some people, see, your friend calls you in the morning, guy, how was your night? Simple, good, thank you, my night was awesome. You just start that morning telling your friend, guy, you no go understand though. Throughout the night, now so they pursue me with masquerade. He only asks you how was your night. Use your tongue. There's an angel that takes inventory and report of everything you say. So that angel goes back to God to tell God, this is what he said. He said you are not able. He said you are able. So learn to use your tongue. That time you can use to complain. Do you know in one day in the wilderness, 3,000 were beaten by serpents because of complaint, because of too much talk. See, anybody who talks too much does not have control over his destiny. Anybody who is so lousy, you are always flappy. You don't control your tongue. You don't organize yourself. Everybody knows your secret because you cannot control your tongue. You become an enemy to yourself. Now listen to these two things before I throw the line open. One of the easiest way the enemies can penetrate through you is information. And how do they get this information? Two ways. Number one, some people talk when they are happy. Some people, they talk when they are happy. That one used to do me. Anytime I'm happy, you just see me, I'm excited, I begin to talk until God started dealing with me concerning it. You see some people when they are happy, especially if they are drunk or they are tipsy, you see them begin to say things. And especially when you jam those hype men, the way they will hype you before you know it, you've declared beer to everybody, and then you open your mouth and tell them, I am building a house. Nobody asks you. I am buying something. Nobody asks you. I am paying for a property. Nobody asks you. You wouldn't know that there are enemies seated there who will gather those informations and go to where you are buying or building and plant things there that will bring your downfall. Then the second way some people get, the enemies get information. Some people talk when they are angry. Immediately they are angry, they pour out their heart, including things they know they can't do. They keep saying it. So be careful, because the enemy can attack you without a contact point. And one of the easiest way the enemy can get that contact point is to make you talk. And when you talk, they gather your information and still use it against you. It is still you who will start telling people, I don't know how these people are fighting me. How did they even get to know that I just got a visa? Now they have spoiled it for me. They have blackmailed me. Now it is you. Omugi. Learn to close your mouth. Use that mouth you use in talking and talk to God. Spend time in the presence of God, communicating to divinity. There's no how God won't talk back to you, because that's the essence of prayer. And I want to believe that this short little exhortation is going to help somebody here tonight. Please, wherever this message meets you, press the share button, share with somebody and bless somebody. A lot of destinies are in the graveyard because of what they said with their mouth. A lot of destinies have been truncated because of what they said with their mouth. Learn to fight